So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, seen you through the screen all these years, and here you are.
Here I am.
And now you're doing the Screen Awards. So last year you were like swinging on a trapeze or something. What's the plan this year?
Well, God forbid I just walk out. But it's a surprise. We've got to keep it under wraps. But we're doing, we open big, and try to make them love us right off the bat.
Any like Canadian shtick?
I can't reveal anything. It's all secret. You've got to watch.
Any familiar characters like Ed Grimley maybe is a personal favorite?
Ed is not showing up. He showed up last year. You can't overdo Ed.
Really?
No.
You know those high-waisted pants are in now.
Yes, I know. Ed was always ahead of himself. The hair, I don't know when the hair is coming back.
Where did the hair come from? Is that like a Hamilton thing?
No, it was, I was doing the scene Sexist in Second City Stage in Toronto. And Peter Aykroyd, brother of Danny, was in the scene, and he said, boy, you grease your hair up. It's getting taller every day. So as a joke, I stuck it right up to make him laugh. And the audience laughed, and I thought, isn't that what I'm trying to do? So I kept it.
So like 30 years later, you're still greasing your hair. So no Ed Grimley.
No Ed Grimley.
So you've given me a hint. You should give me another hint.
I can give you no hints.
Lots of Canadian stars that you will be honoring, but still it seems like you, so many Canadians go south. Is that just like normal? Should we just be cool?
It is tricky for Canada because the United States can say, well, we want to shoot in Toronto, make it look like New York, or we want you to come down to New York and pretend to be a New Yorker. And actors in general are borderless. They've been influenced not just by Canadian actors, they've been influenced by Laurence Olivier and Marlon Brando and Depardieu, and so there's a borderless element to being in the arts.
Canadians aren't moving to LA because it's cooler than Toronto, are they?
No, it's not cooler, it's warmer. I think sometimes you move where paychecks are offered. There's another incentive.
So it hasn't changed? There's still not enough great jobs for comedians or actors in Canada?
Oh, I think the internet has made things greatly change. I think that there was definitely a time when if you wanted to, hit as high a ceiling as you could, you had to go to the United States to explore that. I don't think you have to as much now. But certainly in a temporary way, there are jobs offered here, there, and everywhere. And they'll get you visas and they'll, give you the job. So I never think I don't think it's you just have to live in Canada or live in the United States to be a Canadian actor.
Rob Ford has been a punchline for a few people lately.
Yes.
Do you hear Rob Ford jokes or make Rob Ford jokes?
Everyone makes Rob Ford jokes. But I don't think Rob Ford is remotely good for the country. I think he's very bad for the country. And the mayor of a Toronto city the size of Toronto needs an international ambassador. Rob Ford was just on Jimmy Kimmel, and he was clearly not since Tiny Tim and Miss Vicky got married. On Carson was someone clearly more of a joke, being laughed at, not quite being aware that they were being laughed at. That's not a good ambassador for Toronto. I think if he really loved Toronto, he would have resigned and said, you know what, I'm going to straighten my life out and I'll come back and you'll see that I've sorted my personal life out and I will I'll run again and you'll vote for me or not. But to hang in there because you love Toronto, it's a little more narcissistic, I think, than what he claims.
That's Toronto politics. Do you follow Canadian politics? I'm just wondering what you think is funnier, American politics or Canadian politics, assuming you're looking for humor.
I'm not a political comedian. I'm a character comedian. So
we have a few characters.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Stephen Harper, 50 Shades of Grey is just a hair color for him.
TV changed comedy a lot. Is social media changing comedy? Like, are you funny on Twitter?
I am not. I am not. Well, I'm old, and I speak for, I just find that, to me, if I was on Twitter, I'd feel that as a pressure. I wake up every day, what do I say on Twitter? It would just be another exam I have to get through. You know, I'm someone who's written through the years because he had to. My friend Steve Martin writes all the time. One time we were driving to the Oscars, and he just is doing that. I said, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm tweeting a joke." "What are you tweeting?" "Oh, I can't wait to get to the Oscars and meet Cher and get on a first-name basis with her." All right, so if your mind just clicks like that all the time, you can.
So Steve
it's
Martin's
fine.
funnier than you?
Yes, funnier-ish. No, he's a funnier joke writer than I. Absolutely.
Well, he writes about you that you're kind of weird as a comedian because you're not needy and desperate. Everyone says such nice things about you. Aren't you supposed to be like all twisted as a comedian, like laughing on the outside?
That is kind of a heightened cliche. You know, the clown who cries with inside and laughs, you know.
No?
No. I think most people I know in comedy aren't that. I think that it just makes for a more interesting article. You know, to say, "Oh, he's laughing on the inside." That's not as intriguing as he's crying on the inside.
But we've all read the biographies of all those fascinating comedians who were a little tortured. No one has a bad word to say about you. Is that Hamilton?
Yeah, well, you know.
Is that because you're Canadian, or
Yeah.
or are they lying?
They're lying. It's a combination of lies, bribery, and being Canadian.
But I do wonder where your self-esteem comes from, because you have a lot of confidence. You've always seemed to be
I think it
comfortable.
comes from your upbringing. I think it comes from your friends, your wife, your kids, the world you create.
3 kids.
Yeah.
So they're like normal people?
I think they're normal people, yes. I mean, I've really understood it. I flew up yesterday from Los Angeles. The guy was sitting beside me, and he was asking me, had I gone to the Oscars, had I done that? And I said, no, I've done that. I just wanted to, you know, invite some people over and eat a pizza. And the idea that you could go to the Oscars, but you didn't, seems jaded, or gee, I can't imagine that. But the reality is, when you do this for a long time, it just becomes your profession. And your friends become your friends. Some of them happen to be famous, but they're just your friends. And so I think it's very easy you therefore become balanced based on the world you create, the world that you feel comfortable in, your siblings, as I say, your children, your wife, your husband, the people who keep you in line.
Thank you. It was lovely to meet you.
Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you.